I do those. Those are fun.
You put that trade out there, it's perfect for us, and we still need to go through it.
Of course we did.
Amari Cooper is a freaking Cowboy.
Before the Cooper trade, who would have had the better roster, even though they both have worse records? Raiders or Cardinals?
Gary Jones thinks that that's the savior right there, huh?
Well, then we trade Peterson and you got no Cooper, so yeah, who wins? Nobody really wins in this.
Gruden would trip somebody, one of the Raiders players that they were in the end zone, just so he could try to lose and get a better draft pick.
That's true. Trying before they even reach the end zone.
How we doing, everybody? Good.
We're gonna go run? All right, man, take care
I'm
of
trying
it.
to catch up to him. I just did my first 10. An hour 41?
What the hell you want to talk to you about?
Just
Talk to you right now, man. How we doing?
All right, you too.
That was a very painful hour 41 then.
And also, I'll tell you when. It's time to transform.
What? You did not.
Remember, he's on 13.
Get out of here.
Greetings, Bird Gang, and welcome back into the Casual House. Another lovely Monday night brings you another edition of the Kazual Sportz Show, the only show that is the exclusive voice of the Bird Gang and every other fan club for our local teams as well. You know how we do it. You want to follow the show, go ahead and hit us up on our 3 outlets, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. And you can also hit us up on our website at www.kazualsports.com. That's Kazual with a Z at the end of sports. And my man Sean is going to tell y'all where y'all can follow us as well.
We're going to be on all of the podcasting platforms that you love: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play.
Yeah.
Just search Kazual Sportz, as you always do. Every episode is going to be up, live, and ready for you where you are whenever you want it.
All right. And the show is growing, Bird Gang, and thanks to you guys listening, we are growing by leaps and bounds. So keep listening. Got a lot to get to tonight, of course, on tap. We got the Bird Gang presence is in the house. We'll let you know which Bird Gang presence is in our house tonight. Of course, we're going to talk about some of the bombshell that went down today. Of course, Patrick Peterson's request for a trade, which I still haven't heard directly from his mouth yet.
I think he meant fantasy trade. That had to be it.
Yeah. We're going to also talk about, of course, the firing of Mike McCoy. Of course, all this was Thursday, so this is like old news. So
Still good
but
news.
it's still good, exactly. And we got to do some retracting of our can't get right from last week.
Yeah, well,
Just
we
one.
can still be right.
Yeah, we could be. Yeah, you're right.
So
you're
maybe
right.
we'll just acknowledge that
You're
it's
right.
possible.
Of course, I'm your host again, Earl Burnett, and he is Sean McConnell.
Yes, yes.
And this is what we do every Monday night, 8 to 9. And Bird Gang, you know what we do? We're going to go ahead and drop the Bird Gang presence that's in the house. Let's find out who is in the house tonight. All right, that's starting to grow on me a little bit.
I feel like I should be, breakdancing on some cardboard right now.
That's
I
starting
break
to
my
grow
neck,
on me
though,
a
if I
little
try.
bit. But we got in the house tonight that we're going to do our every 3-week fantasy football update. And I got, of course, my man in the house, the one and only Nathan, that kid Harvey is in the house. What's up, man?
Nothing much.
All right, man. You know we got to bring you back in here and talk this fantasy stuff, man. This league is starting to heat up. And, of course, you're still on top of the league. 3 weeks ago you were on top, and now 3 weeks later you're still on top. What's up, man?
Yep, first place. I did lose one, but 5-1 still.
Oh, okay,
Can't be
cool.
possible.
Yeah, you know, but one thing I gotta let you guys know that I didn't tell you last time, that his nickname on the fantasy football is that kid, and that's not a nickname. He's really a kid. This dude is only 13 years old, and
He's beating us all.
and he is really doing his own team. He's not getting any help from anybody that's doing it. You know, he has a history of winning fantasy football.
Yep.
And he's a sports junkie at 13, and I love your passion. Like I told you last time you were here, your passion for sports at such a young age is amazing to me. So, all right, so 13 years old, and he's running the league right now. So, okay, we got to get down to brass tacks here because somebody got to come and shut you down now. Because what you got going for playoffs? What is your plan for the playoffs going into the fantasy league?
Playoffs?
My plan for playoffs is all my players are going to be back healthy, and I'm going to have the most stacked team in the league.
Okay, let's go over your team a little bit. I kind of dissected you a little bit on your team.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, how the heck are you winning games with C.J. Beathard as your quarterback? Remember you were trying to get
yeah.
You were trying to get
Baker Mayfield for a
Mayfield off,
second.
and you didn't get him.
As soon as I didn't get him, it was immediately C.J. Beathard. I knew he was the backup Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
So.
But did you anticipate him to be this good? I mean, he's scoring you enough points to still stay in the league.
Putting up good points, except this week. This week he did pretty bad, but that's all right.
Right.
Other weeks he was doing really good.
Right. Because you know it's not about him winning games. It's about him just putting up numbers.
And he's been putting up numbers.
Yeah. So okay. And so who are you playing tonight? Tonight you have a guy you're playing in the league right now that is, I think he's 3-3 tonight.
Yeah, I won.
And you beat him already with only 80 points.
Yeah, it's bad. It was my team did not perform this week at all.
Yeah. And one thing, guys, if you're gonna get in the league, please play the league. If you're gonna get in the league, play the league. I hate when somebody gets in the league.
I'm trying to play the league and I still can't win.
And they sit there, and their active roster has inactive people on it, people on their bye week, and I'm like, people on IR. It's like, come on, don't just give people free easy wins like that. But okay, I broke down your schedule. I mean your team, and in our 20 team league, we have 5 teams that are 5-1.
Yeah, only 3 left now.
Right. Oh, you already went through it already?
Yeah, because you lost.
Oh, that's true. I did. I'm on a 2-game losing streak. But
how's that feel?
Man, it hurts because you know what?
Tell me more.
I did a blockbuster trade 2 weeks ago.
That was nice.
And
well,
I can't. And it did nothing for me because the receivers were on bye the next week. So I'm like, oh man. So I'm on a 2-game losing streak.
That's a John Gruden type trade.
That's better for the future.
Let me tell you how this trade was.
His trade's better for the future.
Look, when the season broke, when it started, nobody wanted Carson Wentz for some reason because he was hurt coming off of injury.
Yeah,
he was
they didn't
hurt.
know when he'd come back.
So I stacked him on the roster for a couple of weeks, and he just sat on my roster. Even though he was ready to play, I didn't play him.
Right.
That's why I said, you know what, he's starting to get good. Let me just see if I can shop him around.
Yeah.
And so this
you got
one
a good
dude,
trade.
yeah, you saw the trade?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so y'all better look out because when the playoffs start,
You have a better team now.
Yeah. I gave up Carson Wentz and Geronimo Allison, and I got back DeAndre Hopkins. And I'm like, whew. But then he ends up playing this week against Jalen Ramsey and kind of didn't do as what he normally does. But
yeah,
he still got me some points. But all right, man. So looking at your team, you got wins of those 5 teams that are 5-1. How many do you think you beat?
Beat them all. We all get all 5. What do you mean?
No. You're part of that 5-1. How many have you played anybody that's in that 5-1 status?
Oh.
So have you played anybody?
I have
is what I'm saying.
no idea.
You have no idea, do you?
I think I may play one of them. It might have been like, come on, man.
You got it.
or
That's
something.
the first one.
Yeah.
You keep it up with your
I don't
stuff.
know. I think so.
See, 13 years old dude keeping up with his own stuff and his stats and knowing who he's playing, his percentages, everything. Okay, so yeah, you're right. You beat Come On Man, and he hasn't lost since you beat
Yeah,
him.
he's.
That was the
5-1.
first game of the season,
Mhm.
and he beat me last week. Freaking Lynn Jackson. But anyway, he's top of the league. Then you got the 4-2 guy you beat. 2, 3, and 3 guys you beat, and then of course you had 2 bottom feeders. So when you were here last year, I thought. Not last year, last couple of weeks, I told you that you were beating teams that weren't doing anything, but that's not actually the truth. You're actually beating teams that are on top of the league.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Not put up big numbers, but get by.
Yeah, you squeezed by tonight for sure. Next week's matchup, you got my man over here.
I do.
If the shoe fits, who's having a pretty tough.
Can I just say that, like, all of my guys got on injured reserve. I had Jay Ajayi. That was supposed to be my bell cow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just throwing in the towel. I'm
Yeah.
up for whatever right now.
But you never know. Anything could happen, though. That's what fantasy football is about. Anything can transpire, can change. Like you just said, injuries, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So, but the playoffs are going to be a different monster. So
Playoffs?
Yeah. So
That's a
if
lot.
you only get one shot in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you think you're going to be up for that as far as doing any trades coming up?
I'm not usually into the trades. There's not much on the waiver wire or
man,
anything.
you better start watching the
The
trades.
trades. There's been one trade this whole year. It's your trade.
Dude,
Nobody's making any good trades.
Man. When you think about it, look, you got teams that you know are not going to go nowhere near the playoffs.
Yeah. So
You
you
got-
can work out.
We got
trades
20
with them.
teams. At least 8 of those teams are not going anywhere. So go start sifting those teams and hey, put some trades in, man. You can come up on a few extra
Maybe.
receivers or a couple of extra running backs. He said maybe. So, or stick with what you know. I mean, you're gonna do your own thing. But I'm telling y'all, when it all comes down to it, in the end, I'm gonna win this thing either way. So I'm gunning for you now. Now that I know, I'm like, okay, I found out he's doing all his own stuff, putting in his own team. He even drafted his own team. He's doing all the stats, keeping up with it every freaking week, knowing who to pull out, who to put in at the right time. It's like, okay, so he's a fantasy junkie. So
He's not scared of you, man.
oh no, I know he's not
You're
scared.
trying to all puff up.
I'm trying to say no, we cannot let the 13-year-old take us out, man. Somebody got to stand up.
I mean, I'm already losing. Let the kid put the money towards a car. Come on.
No, but I really love it though. I mean,
Yeah.
to have it, somebody at your age to have that kind of passion for sports is really cool to me. Well, let's talk about your football season that just ended. Did it just end? You guys won state? I think?
Yeah, we did.
What was the record?
I think we lost 3.
You only lost 3 games this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're all out of conference.
Oh,
games.
okay. So you won all your conference games and you
Yeah.
won the state game. I heard a story that your dad told me about you taking a pick.
Yeah.
And taking it all the way back and stopping on the 1-yard line. Explain, let everybody know what that was about.
Well, I took the pick. I had nobody near me. I planned on letting other teammates score. There's been this one kid who's been wanting to score this whole year. And then there's another kid with a learning disability
Oh, okay.
who has some sort of handicap. We gave him opportunities to score.
Oh, that's cool.
So I went out on the 1. We gave him, voice crack, we gave him 2 opportunities to score, but he barely didn't make it on
Oh,
That's
hey,
all right.
but just the gesture alone is cool,
Yeah.
man. So you take a pick 6 that could have been a touchdown, but you went out at the
on the
1-yard
one,
line.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's pretty cool. All right, so now you're going into your basketball season.
Mm-hmm. I made the school
And
team.
this kid is playing the 2 main positions in both these sports, quarterback and
Point guard now.
now in basketball. So those 2 positions are leadership positions, and that move you just did, going out of bounds, like a leadership move
Yeah.
for your team, and that's awesome, man. So you got a lot of traits, man. You got a lot of traits of a star kid coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you kind of feel that yourself?
Yeah.
You really do?
Sure, uh-huh.
Really? Okay. All right. So what's the next move? Basketball.
Basketball season, yeah.
Okay,
Focus
so
on basketball.
what's your plans in basketball? What are you gonna do?
Well, our team that I joined went 0-11 last year.
What?
Yes, they're pretty bad. They have all the same kids. I'm the only new player on the team. From what I know, there's like maybe one and a couple other people, but like.
Uh-oh. Well, you better do that Devin Booker thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
You got to make everybody else better. So.
Yep.
All right.
We'll have a winning record.
Okay.
That's the goal.
That's the 13-year-old Nathan, that kid. Now we know where you get your name from, that kid. Like, who the heck is this kid winning everything? Now I know where it came from. But yeah, he's on top of the fantasy league right now, and we are going to get back to this Cardinal thing. We got a lot of Cardinal stuff to get to, but we appreciate you coming in the house again, man, and giving us an update in this fantasy league. And 3 weeks from now, we'll catch up with you again, all right?
All right.
You listen to the Kazual Sportz Show here on NBC Sports Radio, NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060, that is. We'll be right back, Birdman. Stick around.
So, don't nobody go nowhere.
Check out Bob Kemp's Bottom Line daily at NBCSports1060.com and listen to the Sports Zone from 10 to 1.
That's on an hour.
Here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060.
Oh, you can leave. You guys got to go.
We want to touch down with every snap of the ball, but as we all know, sometimes we have to get there one down at a time, and every yard counts. Best teams are the great coaches that take the time to educate, strategize, and develop a game plan that fits the talents and abilities of the players on the field. Long-term strategy is important. Investing can feel just like that, and making sure you have a great team on the sideline is important. Insurance Realty and Kirsten Schaefer's AZ Property Experts are the support staff team leading on your sideline when buying, selling, and creating your real estate investing strategy in Arizona. She helps her clients sell homes fast and for top dollar buy a personal home or entire portfolio of investment properties. She even helps investors by providing full-service property management, completing renovations, rehabs, and flipping houses through affiliated partners. Is it time to up your investing game? Find success on the real estate gridiron with Interest Realty and Kirsten Schaefer's AZ Property Expert. Visit us today at azpropertyexperts.com or call us at 480-788-2761 for a no-hassle, no-obligation consultation today. Call 480-788-2761 or visit our website at azpropertyexperts.com.
From what they tell us, it's growing. But they don't keep up, they don't give us the exact numbers.
Luckily, when you visit any of 16,000 Napa Auto Care Centers, you get highly trained experts and a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, which means your car gets fixed right the first time.
Hey, look, they got a new sponsor and everything. Look at that. That's a new sign.
Like repairing
Chapman,
your vehicle.
Chapman,
And more time
Chapman Bell Road. That's a new sponsor. That's a pretty big sponsor.
NapaAutoCare.com to find the location
Hyundai.
nearest you.
I'm Jay
So it's
Farmer,
like they're
CEO
doing
of
something
Quicken
that's not
Loans,
letting us know
America's
about it.
premier home purchase
I
lender.
think we're supposed to
Today's
get a piece of
fluctuating
that, but
interest
they ain't
rates
letting
can
us
leave
know about
you
it.
with unexpected higher mortgage payments. At Quicken Loans, we've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates, so you
set
can
up
buy
a
a
social
home with
media for, like,
certainty.
people
It's called
asking
Rate Shield,
questions.
and here's how it works.
You
With
think?
Rate Shield,
Yeah,
you
so I
can
can
lock
give
your
it out
interest
to
rate
everybody
while you
right
shop
here.
for a new
I'm
home.
afraid right
So
now.
if rates
Yeah,
go up,
just put
you
it, make
don't
it
have
that
to worry.
kid and
And here's the
everybody
best
start
part.
following
If
you.
rates go
I
down,
thought you've
you
been
get the
done
lower
that.
rate.
I
With
was
Rate
just-
Shield,
No, Mike
we
was
really have you
supposed to.
covered.
Mike was going to.
There are
He
more
didn't do
reasons
any
why
of
you
it.
want to work with America's largest mortgage lender.
Yeah,
For
put
8
it
years
in.
in a row now,
Put it in,
J.D.
like,
Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 5th year in a row,
We can have
they've
people
also
start
ranked us
sending you
highest in the
questions about
nation for
fantasy
mortgage
football. Like,
servicing.
who do I
Rate
play?
Shield,
Do I play so-and-so?
another way
Do I
we
play
can
this
save
person
you
or
money
that
on
person?
your
Hashtag
mortgage.
ask that
Call us today
kid.
at
Exactly.
800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Based on Rocket Mortgage data
Mom,
and
what's
comparison of
24
public data
number
records,
again?
Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions. Call for
Alright,
confirmation and conditions.
Hold on, hey,
License in all
Julio.
50 states and MLS under 30
Giving out numbers we don't
Oh,
want.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just protecting you guys.
And endurance-based champion.
They're like, what number is
Many
that?
people ask me, how do you keep competing at the age of 70? Healthy living
Just
isn't
looking out
work.
for you guys.
You don't like it out here?
11
If you have
1 p.m.
faith, you
text.
can't train. So I'm thrilled I discovered
Just
Salon
gotta-
Plus
11
Life Plus. This
From somebody?
Right?
Yeah, you know who that
contains two
is.
safe and effective
Man,
anesthetics.
hi.
Nothing has worked better for me. Salon Plus Lidocaine Plus, cream or roll-on.
I got the Suns score if you want
At
to
a rough
come
Friday
back.
night, we've all been there. Jumpstart your weekend.
Are they getting whacked?
The Sports Hangover, Saturday mornings from 8 to
Come
10.
back with that.
Yeah,
NBC Sports
50
Radio,
37.
AM 1060.
Damn.
It's now time to jump back into the action with Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E, on the Kazual Sportz Show on NBC Sports.
Welcome back into the Casual House. Sean McConnell, Earl Burnett here with that kid. Quick update on the Suns-Warriors game. There's about 5.5 left in the second. Suns are getting beat 52-37 against the Warriors.
Which is to be expected.
Booker's got 8. Warren's 14.
What's DeAndre doing?
DeAndre's got 6 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, and 2 personal fouls.
Okay. He's a little bit more aggressive, I hope.
Yeah, he's going up against some bigger guys, so.
Man, that Jokic just put it on him.
That might be his kryptonite.
Yeah. Man. But, okay, so we got, of course, you know, the bombshell went down earlier today. And we were at the game, and you saw that.
What game? There was a game?
Well, we were at the, let's call it a.
Back waxing?
Let's call it the scrimmage. Oh, whatever. Denver Broncos practice. But, no, Patrick Peterson got a pick down the sideline. And normally, you know, he's all smiles. I mean, he's always
all smiles.
Yeah, all smiles and
pass the ball off
and goofing around and having a good time. Did you see how he threw that ball up in the stands?
He didn't just throw that ball. It was an underarm, somehow cannon.
Yeah.
Like, might as well have gotten into the nosebleeds. That's how mad he was when he threw that thing.
He flicked that thing hard. You can see the anger in it. He was just like, you know. But you can tell his anger sitting down on the bench, and I did not know it was going to end up like this. But my question about this whole thing is, why couldn't he just come out himself and just say publicly that's what he wanted? Why does it have to go through certain people? Like,
I have a theory on that.
What's that?
And it's good news if it's true.
Mm-hmm.
The theory on this is he's doing this to let it be known publicly that how this culture isn't working and something has to change.
Okay.
So it's saying, hey, this is not okay.
Right.
I want to be traded.
Wow.
No, fix this.
Right.
That's what this actor is going to do.
Yeah, it sounds like
also,
he's screaming out something. Yeah.
I have another theory. Now, this was tweeted out by, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Oh, man. So, Bobby Mack.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting note is that the Cardinals cornerback Patrick Peterson has the same agent, Joel Siegel, who has had other big-name clients get traded recently, including edge rusher Khalil Mack.
Oh, wow.
So there could be something here. There was also another theory that since there's 2 years left in the deal and the Cardinals are definitely going to have him play that deal, that he could use this as a way to parlay a contract extension for a bigger contract. So those are rumors out there that could be a way of steering that by saying you want to be traded. You always have to kind of overreact in the NFL to be taken seriously.
Correct.
I hope that's the case.
Yeah, looking at this whole picture, the whole big picture. Earlier he said some things about he had some friends come out kind of speak on his behalf, saying that they knew him, kind of, you know, and they said it had nothing to do with coaching. This has to be something to do with coaching, right? This has to be something to do with him not being satisfied with whatever this new regime has done since they've been here.
I mean, this is per the big guys out there, that this is not about the coaches, it's about the culture and the roster. So that tells me that maybe it's the way they prepare. Maybe it's the fact that the offense is so stagnant that the defense can't even help them.
Okay.
That's how bad it is. And maybe it's the guys across from him. Maybe he's tired of seeing Brandon Williams do stupid stuff on special teams or seeing Rudy Ford get blown up and he has to cover for him and play safety.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's those things that are really setting him off.
When you talk about culture, where does that start?
It starts up top.
Right. And so could he be pointing the finger up there?
He could be pointing.
Because that's the one those are Steve Kahn is the one taking these players, picking these players and
getting rid of certain best friends.
Exactly. And have been a little bit missing. They're missing just a little bit on their talent evaluation.
Yeah.
And so maybe Patrick is looking at that and saying, look, okay, this has been going on too long. The right guys are not coming in here, or the scheme's not working, or whatever. And then, like I told Jay earlier, they get into training camp. I mean, OTAs first in training camp, and then they get this whole philosophy from this new coach, and then 7 weeks in, it's all flipped upside down. It's like
upside down. You've got guys like Hassan Reddick and Dan Buchanan hardly playing.
Right.
Guys that were
he's used to playing with.
Right. Staples in this defense, guys that you know you can rely on. I mean, there's Jay right now on Facebook Live saying that Kime needs to be gone. Do you think that's the solution?
No, because Kime he's got a bargaining chip, and his bargaining chip is these rookies that are on this roster this year, and those rookies that he picked this year are actually excelling a lot faster than the previous rookies.
Kirk's leading the league as a rookie right now.
Exactly. And then, of course, you know, Mason Cole is doing pretty good, and Josh Rosen, you know, so the rookie class seems like it's going to be a whole lot better than the previous rookie class. But it looks like to me, Steve Keim has to do some things differently.
Yeah.
When I say that, I'm saying, okay, you stuck your foot out there and got a little bit aggressive and got Josh Rosen and did the draft thing and went up and got it. Okay, now you got to kind of start doing a little bit of some more of that, going and being aggressive in free agency, being aggressive in getting the right pieces here for you know, because we've had opportunities to boost up this roster and we just let them go by the wayside. I mean, I see Amari Cooper headed to Dallas. Why is he not getting a shot?
Called that 2 weeks ago. I was hoping that was
exactly.
going to happen.
And when you said that, I was going, that would be a perfect trade.
Yep. So while we still have Patrick Peterson for this segment, what would you get back for him if you traded him?
Oh, it would have to be a lot.
I can't let go of him without like 3 first rounders, and I know that would never happen.
At least, you know that, but that's not going to happen unless it's John Gruden.
Unless it is John Gruden. Thank God we don't have John Gruden.
That would be contradictive on Patrick's part to end up a Raider, right?
Right.
I mean,
that would be just as
work.
bad, if not worse.
But back on the Patrick Peterson thing here, like I told Jay, I think all of this thing comes down to just, you know, maybe just frustration right now, and maybe it'll blow over. And he'll calm down and things will get back. And depending on what happens Sunday in this game with the new offensive coordinator, you know, doing his thing, and maybe things will kind of die down a little bit, and he'll come back to, you know.
Yeah, and we've heard that he's going to be meeting with Wilkes and hopefully Keim, and then I'm assuming, I mean, if they're saying they're not going to trade him, they better be saying, let's get dinner tonight. Let's meet tonight. Let's air everything out. Tell you our plan. See what we're going to do in the draft. At least outline what the plan is from free agency and draft. Say, hey, we got our eyes on these guys, because he's already got former players saying, come with me. Yeah. Come on over here. Yeah. This is something that needs to change. And right now, Wilkes needs leadership, not guys jumping ship.
Exactly. Wow, we still got a lot to go on this, and we got a few more points I wanted to make on that as well. So, but we got a lot more Cardinal stuff coming up. So, Bird Gang, you're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show, the exclusive voice of the Bird Gang here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. Hang around.
Don't leave. I was trying to sneak a little one in there. I gotta sneak a little one in there every once in a while. Jay says his overall draft record is bad. He's got good rookies because he failed. Could be.
Interesting. He's got good rookies because he fails.
So then you got guys on the PR team saying, well, Keim didn't make the catches, Keim didn't throw the interceptions. So kind of goes both ways, unfortunately.
That's true. But his head's he's gonna be on the hot seat real soon. Keim. He's got to be.
Then Wilkes is too.
Oh yeah, that's what we're going to talk about next. I think that's got a lot to do with it. I think he doesn't want to come out and just publicly put the coach on front, like, you know, right out there to say this dude's philosophy's not working.
They bought him time by getting rid of McCoy.
Right.
They bought him a couple more weeks.
In the article I wrote, I said it was only a matter of time for everybody to get exposed, and that's part of it. You're right, because now that McCoy's out the way, who's the next person that's going to get exposed? Al Holcomb? It's going to point to Al Holcomb. Okay, now if he gets out the way, now who's next? It's going to be Steve Keim. Wilkes. It's going to be Wilkes. He's going to be the only one left.
Holcomb's running Wilkes' system.
Right.
It's not like Wilkes went to McCoy and say, run up the middle forever.
Exactly.
That was McCoy's idea.
Man, I can't even imagine Patrick Peterson on somebody else's team, but
it hurts.
It happens.
It hurts. That's the one that you think would never go.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to go on the next one. We're going to just stay with Cardinals anyway, so we're going to probably go a little bit more on Patrick Peterson, then we're going a little bit on the McCoy thing, Byron Leftwich.
ATL is now, all the ATL fans are saying that they want Peterson too. Of course you do, because your defense is trash.
Stop nobody.
That game ended with 23-20.
Oh. Giants always get close.
We look down and we're like, that game's over, and then you look up and it's like, whoa, that was close.
Yeah, they always get close.
And the guy I was going up against had Beckham. Of course he did. I lost in both leagues. Both leagues.
Beckham had 143 and a touchdown.
He's good. My favorite player.
Oh, your favorite player is Beckham?
Only had a quarterback.
Yeah.
Just don't be crazy like that.
All right, would you trade Patrick for Odell straight up?
Who?
Patrick for Odell straight up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But with the Giants?
No.
Would you just become a running team,
Right.
essentially? It's just Saquon and a defense.
I have one hell of an offense with Odell Beckham.
Odell, Rosen, and Kirk.
With
and
Rosen and
Johnson.
Kirk.
Hey,
I
Rams
have one hell of an
defense.
offense, though.
Hello.
Yeah, look at the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs got all offense. Hey, the hell
We
with
got
defense.
rid of the defense. They said, Peters, get out of here.
Yeah.
Drive me
They said,
nuts.
forget defense. We're just
Tom
outscoring
Bahali's
everybody.
gone too, right? Isn't he?
Which is actually brilliant, though, on Andy Reid's part. He knows his defense can't stop anybody, although they did a good job against Cincinnati last night.
63-45.
Okay. That's good.
What's that?
That's the.
Oh, you got the football, NFL football? Where you get that from?
Now you gotta get your own logo.
Oh yeah, I put Napoleon Dynamite on there.
All
Oh,
right.
I didn't. I was gonna add that, but I specifically.
So it's
Get
called
a
Back
headshot
Kid
and then just
Fantasy.
like silhouette it in Photoshop. It'll be
And
perfect.
that's Facebook, right?
Is it Instagram?
On Instagram. Okay.
Is that a good caption?
Yeah, it's good.
Bio.
Where is that?
No,
Oh, yeah. Hello. Well, my eyes just playing.
Is that
Cheer from defense.
Never stay.
Hi, Kevin Harlan for Navien, and we're in for a real battle at the Murphy home
Here you
tonight.
go.
Mom's coming down the stretch with a huge
go.
load of laundry. But wait, Dad just loaded the
It's all
dishwasher
right.
and won't
You know,
want to know
people
where
got
Donor
shared
Nora
with
jumps
them.
in a hot
Football
shower.
questions are
This
very
could get
strong.
ugly. But thanks to the Murphy's Navien tankless water heater, everybody wins
got a
tonight
tankless
because
water
Navien delivers an endless supply of hot water for everyone.
That's my dad. He's
Find out
watching.
more at Tankless-Made Simple.
Dad, how do you have a
or
tankless
contact
water heater?
API Plumbing serving the greater Phoenix area.
Tankless water.
It's a heating
That
element
means it's
on
something heating up the pipes,
Plus
right?
years
Yeah.
of national
Yeah.
and local sports knowledge added to the
Let's see if he
encyclopedia
comments about
that
it,
is
though.
Bob
He
Kim.
was really
Catch Bob in the
listening.
sports zone.
He's
Weekdays
just
from
commenting
10
about
to
it.
here at
Oh, you gonna see if he really listening? That's funny.
We now return to the casual sport.
that kid?
Oh, okay. You can tell him. I'm gonna let you tell it. Hold on a second. Welcome back into the Casual House Bird Gang. Want y'all to stay encouraged out there while things are down the way they are. I told you it was gonna be rough, but I didn't know it was gonna be this rough. But we knew it was gonna be kind of rough.
Every time you think it could be worse.
But this makes it really hard knowing that one of your star players wants out. And one thing I want to look at on that is guys that are star players like Patrick Peterson, captains, Richard Sherman, guys that are built all that brotherhood of quarterbacks that kind of volley for who's the best.
Yep.
They want to all shine. They all want to be on top. Somehow, for the last few years, Patrick has kind of been hidden. And maybe he's seeing that as, look, my legacy's on the line here, and I'm not getting the recognition that I deserve.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of dwindling away here. Now that we just blew up everything, and now we got to start all over. And it could take, what, 2 to 3 years to do a rebuild? He's probably saying, I don't have 2 or 3 years in my prime. I'm ready to roll with a team that's going to get me somewhere. You know, he wants to compete for playoffs and championship. Maybe that's just driving this whole thing.
Well, it's obvious, it's documented how competitive Patrick is.
Exactly.
He prides himself on going up against the number one. This year he only has 3 targets.
Okay.
There's like no catches against him.
Exactly.
So I mean, you can easily always say that Patrick's the top 2 cornerback in the league. Even the diabetes year that had him all messed up, he was still in the conversation.
Exactly.
And that's something that's been very underrated, not talked about enough, because he's not the flashy guy that's going to get on camera and talk about Michael Crabtree.
Right.
He's not the kind of guy that's going to, get penalties and do things crazy,
talking on the field,
ripping chains off or anything like that. He's just the guy who goes in, does his job, and unfortunately gets dumped on for it because it gets hidden. In BA's defense, unfortunately, he got hidden.
Right. Here's another thing, too, that nobody's saying that I think may have something to do with this as well. He has a legend sitting in front of him that's doing the exact same thing. Loyalty. How long has Fitz been loyal to the Cardinals?
And how many years have there been trade?
And now Patrick's looking at Fitz, could be looking at Fitz and going, this dude is in his 14th year. And now he got a 15th year. Now he has to do a rebuild. And you know he's going to retire before the championship hope's gone. Do I really want to go follow that?
That's the unfortunate side of it. You have this great role model, but unfortunately, that's the blueprint for Patrick's future.
Exactly.
He doesn't. He's
maybe
looking
that
at
has,
Fitz
that
going,
has a lot to do with it. Maybe he's just sat down. From the looks of his face in that stadium, the way he sat down on that bench, it looked like he just took everything and started to see everything in front of him. Like, okay, where am I going?
Well, you know what happened on Thursday? The roof was open. He had no idea he could get out of the stadium, and then he looks up and he goes, well, what's out there? What's outside of this stadium? Where could I live?
And so he just looked around. Larry came over and gave him a hug and stuff, and they kind of had a little conversation and talked. And you kind of just, I like watching them. You know, when I'm there and I'm that close and I can see and I get the pictures and I see the whole body language of that whole team was just all directed at Mike McCoy. You can tell. But we'll get into that in a minute. But you can just see the anger on his face was, why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Fitz and you go, man, you just wasted 14. Well, you had a couple of good runs there, but you're not going to get back there, man. That's it. It's over with.
And that's what speaks to Larry, is that he's still putting up these numbers. I mean, right, this year, obviously, there's no numbers. But he's all time has these numbers. It was like, if only.
Right.
If only, if only, if only.
Right.
Peterson doesn't want that to be a discussion.
Yeah.
I want now. I want that ring. I'm going up against, my idols. I have to beat them.
Right.
I have to beat Dion.
Exactly. That's my point.
Can't beat Dion if I can't win a ring.
That's my point. And you can't put yourself in that category if you don't, like you said, if you don't have rings or even having challenged for rings.
Yeah.
I mean, now you got to also look at yourself too and know that you did have a shot and didn't show up in a dang NFC championship game.
He was one of the ones that
did not show up. In fact, he was kind of the one that kind of let that thing go downhill when he fumbled that punt return. Remember, he was trying to get that punt return and fumble it out of bounds. But things like that happen in football, and but you never know when you're going to get that opportunity again. And I know that looking at Fitz and looking at his situation and where the Cardinals are right now, I think that has a lot to do with his frustration right now.
Absolutely, because we tweeted out today. We thought this was a retool.
Right.
What happened to the retool? Now it's a rebuild all of a sudden.
Exactly.
And that's really so we were saying it's from John Gamadora, former teammate Patrick Peterson tells me he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild, wants a championship before he retires or have an opportunity to win. Exactly. Says he loves coaches, speaks highly of Wilkes. He's not disgruntled about anything except winning.
Mm-hmm.
If you can somehow not hot, you can't get hot. This team can't get hot.
Mm-hmm.
If you can somehow win 5 more games, maybe 3 of them in a row, it's not going to happen. No. Of course not. But if you can get somewhere closer, somewhere better, maybe not blowouts, and he can see there's a competitive thing here, and realize all the money that's coming off the cap next year, and the picks that you're going to have next year.
Exactly. Well, that's what
you
I'm
can do
saying.
something.
Maybe
you can rebound.
Like I'm saying, maybe it's just frustration. He'll see all of those things you just named and go, okay, let me calm down and let's see what happens one more year.
And he's been frustrated before, but this is the closest and most public it's ever been.
Right.
And that's what's alarming.
Yeah. All right, so let's move along here. The Cardinals got rid of one piece that they thought or they figure is part of the problem. It's going to start correcting some things now. But how does one little small piece, or that's not that small actually, but how does one piece correct everything?
I'm so excited to answer this. The running game, believe it or not.
Okay.
Byron Leftwich, yes, the passing game is going to be a little bit different, but it was already opening up when Rose.
Let me stop you right there real quick. The running game.
The running game.
Where is the running game? The running game don't have 5 Mike McCoys out there blocking.
Oh, you sound like somebody I see on Facebook all the time.
No. I'm just saying, let's be real, because when Byron Leftwich comes in and he's going to switch things around, you still work with that same Swiss cheese offensive line. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's one thing running through Swiss cheese. It's another thing running on the outside of Swiss cheese. I have a chart over here of Melvin Gordon's run attempts versus David Johnson. You see right here, David Johnson is either running in the middle 1,000 times or running to the right.
Okay.
Melvin Gordon, look at this. All over the place.
Yeah, they have that.
All over the place. Put him next to the quarterback, put him behind the quarterback. I don't care. Run him everywhere. That's going to change, and I think it's going to help.
Okay.
It's not going to fix everything, no. But it is going to open things up, and you know he's going to be in the wide receiver slot now.
Right.
No more guys in motion. Guys are going to play in bunch, which is what BA loved to do. Bunch of receivers, send them out, play crazy, and throw the ball.
When you think back when we were doing the coaching search and we got Wilkes, there was nobody else out there for offensive coordinator except Mike McCoy. Because remember John DeFilippo from the Eagles turned down a second interview.
Yep.
James Betcher didn't even get an interview, or no, he didn't get a second interview. He got a first interview, but he didn't get the second interview.
First interview was
all these guys turned it down, and so Mike was pretty much the only guy to go at to go with. So
there was no word on Goodwin. That was the one that really disappointed me.
Right, he didn't even get a shot. Man, I kind of wish now, when you think back now, is who should we have taken other than Mike McCoy? There was nobody else there. So
right. The problem with that was, like, you looked at Goodwin as the guy that was going to replace Bruce Arians, and once you found out that he wasn't going to be the next head coach, it's like, well, why am I going to stay here and do coordinator stuff?
Okay.
So.
Wow. And so now we have Byron Leftwich is going to be the OC, and we know where that's taking the whole conversation. Is this offense going to be BA's offense now all of a sudden again, or is it going to look like BA's offense? Is it going to be somewhat pieces of BA's offense? And my answer to that question would be, first of all, I have no clue. And then second of all, if I had to guess, I would imagine if all you know, you're going to do what you know. Why would you jump into something that you have no clue about and try something else? You're going to end up like Mike McCoy.
So here's my theory on this. BA was commented already about this since he got back from London duty with CBS, right? So he was saying Byron is not a miracle worker because of the O-line injuries are going to set some of these things up for failure.
Exactly.
However, Leftwich has been in BA's offense for more than like 7 years.
Exactly.
So he knows the whole thing in and out.
Okay.
The problem is getting that whole game plan back into all these players halfway through the season. So what you're going to be doing is looking at all those run up the middle plays basically and tossing them. And Leftwich is probably up still right now. He probably hasn't even left Tempe, going through all these plays and scratching them off, going, nope, that one's not working, adjusting, tweaking, and doing things because you can't do a whole new offense.
Exactly.
And the bye week's going to help. He's going to throw some new things in there, I guarantee you. The bye week will help for that, but it's not going to be a total revamp. Not until next year.
So do you think he'll be able to do enough to keep the defense off the field as much as they've been on the field? Can they sustain a drive for more than 3 to 4 plays? That's going to be the question. It's not going to. We know we're not going to come out here and just blow the scoreboard up. We know that. But what we need to start seeing is first downs. We need to start seeing
deep first downs.
We need to start seeing first and second down picking up that 6 yards and having only a third and short to go. We need to start seeing that. So is Byron Leftwich offense going to look like that, where we're going more first and second down, giving David more space to get those 5 to 6 yards, or what? How's it going to look?
I think yes, and here's why. David has already alluded that Byron, back during the BA era, was giving David Johnson tips on wide receiver routes and when to cut in and how to position himself.
Okay.
Back then. So there's already a rapport with David, and Lefty already knows where David's going to excel. It's like he wasn't going to overthrow McCoy in the meeting rooms.
Right.
So I think it will.
So real quick, does he do the exact same thing with Fitz? Does he move Fitz back to that blocking receiver? Does he move Fitz back in the slot where Fitz can start excelling a little bit more, like he did with under BA?
This is the part that's going to be really interesting to me, because this one I had no idea, but they were peers. They were peers for a long time in the NFL, playing against each other, and I think Lefty's just going to, Larry, what do you want to do?
Exactly.
Whatever you want to do, I'm cool with it. Just let me know so I can change the plays up to put you where you need to be.
All right. Hey, Nathan, why don't you go ahead and tell the people out there where they can get in touch with you on your new social media stuff?
Social media. I created an Instagram for fantasy. It is at @thatkidfantasy. Repeat, @thatkidfantasy.
Kid Fantasy on
Instagram.
So
hit it up. I'll answer all fantasy questions you guys have. And yeah.
He'll answer all your fantasy questions and set your lineup for you. Good looking out, man. The Kazual Sportz Show right here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060, Bird Gang. We're going to get back into some stuff about who can't get right. So hang around.
Beer
I guess it's your right house you can't get
Weekdays from 5 to 6.
Huh?
I said, I guess it's your right house you can't
Tuesdays
get
7 here on NBC Sports Radio, AM
I got a Twitter one that's pretty funny.
You know
A
you should
Twitter
be
one?
It's something small. This lady went and like, BA, wherefore art thou?
Alright, we're gonna. That kid's gotta go to bed. He's got
Oh,
school in the morning.
that kid's got bedtime. You heard it here
I got
first.
one. I think it's on the 29th.
What time did you play?
October 29th at 5:30 at Cooley Junior.
Finally, there's a one-stop
I want to
shop
get to
for
one
real
of those
estate
games. I want to
investing,
see it.
in-trust
I
property
just know how my
management,
schedule is.
affiliated
Oh,
partners
that's the
of
first game this
to
year?
become
There's one
fluent
there,
and
there's
successful
one
real
Thursday.
estate investors. Whether you just want to buy
I think
one
I get
home,
nervous if
whether
I
you're
come out
expanding
there.
portfolio,
No.
you have a knowledgeable and experienced team at in-trust
All right,
property
I'm
management.
gonna come out there and put together a highlight reel.
Stop waiting and do what
All right.
you've been doing for years. Diversifying in real
Take
estate.
care, man.
Switching into
All right.
the fastest growing cities in the
I'll talk
nation.
to you guys
In-trust
tomorrow.
property management makes it simple.
Oh, it's
With
open.
their real
It's
estate
full.
investment strategy, they will have
I'll probably be down there in the morning.
profits like a professional
Yeah, the
real
office?
estate investor.
Yeah, but I have keys to turn
To
into.
find out just how easy it
All
can
right,
be,
man.
give
Take
the
care.
Thurston
All right,
Show
bye-bye.
Easy Property Expert
Just the
team at
Suns
In-Trust
score right
Property Management a call
Say again?
today.
Just the
Call
Suns score right here.
480-788-2761.
Okay, last day was what,
That's
50 to
480-788-2761.
30
Visit us
something?
on the web at
It's halftime?
www.easypropertyexperts.com.
69 to. Wait.
Oh, go ahead. No,
I think it's about 75 to 40 something.
Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown
70 to 47.
Yep.
Available from Wade Home
There we
Solutions.
go. I got it on now so we can watch it.
Systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes.
What's up, Michelangelo?
smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Third day, what's
For more
up?
information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
Mom doesn't know how to use Facebook apparently. She accidentally responded to the video with an angry face.
Lender. We've created a new way to
Can I
She
protect
angry
you
about
from
something.
unpredictable
Oh, maybe.
interest rates. Our exclusive Rate Shield approval. First, we lock your interest rate for up to 90 days.
Thank you,
Then,
right.
if rates go up, your rate stays locked. But if rates go down, your rate
Do me a
drops.
favor.
Either way, you win.
Bring
Call
up
us today at 800
the
Quicken or go to
schedule, the
rocketmortgage.com.
Cardinals
Racial
schedule.
approval only valid on certain 30-year
And
fixed
also,
rate
if you
bonds.
can at the same time bring up the Rams schedule.
License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions are
We're
excluded.
gonna do something real quick instead of doing can't get
How
right.
many games you want?
Yeah, we're gonna see who's gonna win the next. Are the Rams gonna lose before the Cardinals win their next game, or are the Cardinals gonna win a game before the Rams lose their first?
This is Earl Burnett of the Kazual Sportz Show. I'm here to tell you about the best way to break through in the real estate industry. Check out U.S. Realty University, the realty school that will
Want just
prepare
four?
you to become
Mhm.
the
4
next
games
real
good
estate agent or broker.
I know we're looking at the whole
Obtaining
schedule.
your
I
real
want to see if
estate
they're gonna win
license
a game.
You go through the whole thing?
Yeah, we're just gonna run down win, loss, which one they're gonna win or lose.
Pace, so take as long as you need. Their 90-hour course is designed to fit your schedule. U.S. Realty U has over 50 years of experience and use the most unique and technological advanced learning systems that will get you to pass the state realtor exam and start your career in real estate. But you must attend on campus. It's conveniently located in Tempe, Arizona. For more information, go to www.realty/school.com or go ahead and give them a call at 480-540-3826. Again, that's
Hour goes by too dang fast.
540-3826.
Like I was saying, we need 2 hours.
There is an enrollment discount
But
only by
only
telling
spread
them
out for more
Kazual
days.
Sportz Show sent you.
It won't be
U.S. Realty
a
University,
stretch because we'll have more
preparing
time.
today's students for tomorrow's real estate careers.
Wake up with a champion. Hard on Sports. Get your mornings going. Started with 3-time Super Bowl champion Dale Halastray and the Angry Fan. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060.
It's time to get back in the action with your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E, on the Kazual Sportz Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. If you'd like to join the show, give us a call, 602-260-1060.
Welcome back, Bird Game. I was gonna do can't get right, but
We already know who can't.
we
get
already.
right. They wear red and they play on Sundays.
Yeah, so we didn't want to do too much banging on the Cardinals, so we're gonna switch gears and
Bang on the Cardinals.
and leave that can't get right alone. But I only had one guy on there, it was Blake Bortles anyway, so he can't get right. And he got his job back again. He'll be starting again.
Surviving.
They have not learned. I don't know why.
Speaking of surviving, the Suns are not surviving. 47-71.
Yeah,
Second half.
they're getting a lesson in championship basketball. Well, not championship.
Aiden can make some free throws though.
What the champions do on the court, they show them how to run. But let's do something here, okay? I was sitting at home, saying, okay, what can we do on here to kind of do something fun? Not fun, but we want to call it fun. It's the radio. But the Cardinals, I'm looking at their schedule, man, and I'm going, where is the next win coming from? And then I start thinking, man, let me see. The Rams haven't lost yet. So where is their loss going to come from? So I said, what's going to happen first? Are the Cardinals going to win a game before the Rams lose one, or vice versa?
So you got your opinions, I got mine. Let's do this.
Okay.
All right.
So we look at the schedule and we'll see, are the Cardinals going to win another game, or will the Rams lose a game? So looking at the Cardinals schedule, next
Cardinals
game, of
first,
course.
the 49ers.
Right. I think they can. That's one of their chances they could win.
Yeah, done it before.
But the 49ers played very well the last 2 weeks.
They played very well, but they couldn't take care of the ball.
I'm talking about the last 2 weeks. They played other teams better than the Cardinals and were in the games and scoring points in the games.
Okay.
And thinking back to our matchup with the 49ers, how did we get our points off of what? Like you just said.
Off of defense.
Defense and turnovers. So if the 49ers come in with that stuff corrected, then what?
I see your point.
So what's the next one? Let's just say the 49ers show up and win, and the Cardinals can't win that.
Tie.
Okay.
All right. So the next game they have the bye week. Then they've got the Chiefs at
lost.
Kansas City, guaranteed L.
Uh-huh.
Home against the Raiders.
There's your chance.
That's a dumpster fire.
That's your chance right there.
I wrote that down as a win.
That's a win. So that might be the time the Cardinals get their
Second
next win.
or third
Second
win.
or third win. Okay.
At Chargers.
Loss.
No home field advantage, but a
Loss.
loss. At Green Bay
Loss.
in December.
Loss.
Home against Detroit.
Detroit. Home.
You don't know. Yeah, you're home against Detroit. You don't know what to make of Detroit, but they at least have more wins than we do.
And Detroit can still move the football and score.
Relatively speaking.
Loss.
At Atlanta on the track field.
Loss.
Home against the Rams. That's
Loss.
a win. Oh, wait.
Nah.
And then we finish at Seattle.
Loss.
Looking at a
So
2
now
to
you're
3 win
talking about
season.
a 2-win season. Maybe. John Gruden and them might just get it together and win a 6-3 game.
There have been Cardinal teams that have gone in Foxborough and beaten the Patriots when they just want to sleep.
Right.
And that was
true. That's
and
true.
they
And
performed
not to
way
mention,
above.
too, the Rams are probably not going to be playing for anything down at the last game, maybe. So they might not even be playing everybody. So you might have a chance to kind of sneak one out on them. But
Who's
who
their
knows?
backup quarterback?
So you're talking about a 2-14 season,
Mm-hmm.
which will put them close to the number 1 pick. But what about the Rams schedule?
All right.
When the next time? When are they going to lose a game, or when will they lose a game?
Well, first, can I just go back? I looked it up, so I had to say. We'll be playing Sean Mannion for the Rams. So that'll be the backup quarterback. So take that for whatever it's worth.
Okay.
All right, so we got the Rams. They are going to be playing at home against the Packers.
Win.
Okay. I think maybe not, but we'll see.
Packers are not the same team. Everybody keep thinking just because Aaron Rodgers ain't right. That's not the same team.
I get it, but it could happen.
All right.
They're bound to slip up eventually.
Exactly.
At the Saints.
Ooh, there's a matchup.
That's a good matchup too.
At-
Those are 2 tough games.
At the Saints,
Those are 2
that's going to be
tough
their
games.
first loss. I think
See,
so.
I think it could come this week. Then you've got home against the Seahawks. Nothing happening there.
No.
Home against the Chiefs. That's the one that everyone wants to see. That's the Super Bowl matchup.
Super Bowl preview matchup.
I mean, that's the big one. And then you've got at Detroit,
Win.
at Chicago,
Win.
home against the Eagles.
Ooh.
If the Eagles figure things out, could be a very tough game. Again, the Rams are already locked in. They might ease up and just take their foot off the gas. I mean, it's the third to last game of the season. I'd see that being foolish, resting those guys with 3 games left in the season. But there's no one in the NFC West that's going to challenge them this year. So then you've got at Cardinals and home against the Niners.
Okay, so the Rams are going to probably lose in the next 2 weeks, either New Orleans or the Chiefs in 3 weeks.
Or maybe Green Bay. You got to give them a little.
It's not going to happen in Green Bay.
Could happen.
Okay, so what's going to happen first? Cardinals could win this week.
I think the Cardinals could win this week.
Okay.
My only stat for that is that we did it already this year.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got for that. Well, they did it before. Why can't they do it again?
Speaking of the number 1 pick, I did a little research on that. In Cardinals history, period. No matter what state they were from, didn't matter. We know they came here in '88, so we know they never had the number 1 pick in '88 up till today, up until this time. So they never had the number 1 pick. They've only had the number 1 pick 3 times. 1940, 1945, and 1958 was the last time the Cardinals had the number 1 pick.
Let's take it further than that. Imagine that the landscape of sports in Arizona, where we have 2 teams now within 2 years getting the first pick.
That would be crazy.
Now everyone's all excited, but we're excited because we sucked, right?
Right.
It's sad because now you're looking at this as like a 3 to 4 year window of something actually turning into something. Well, I mean, we're looking at our first round pick right now, and
this ain't tanking. You just suck.
Right. You're not putting the team on his back. It's not like. What can you do? You're going up against 7 All-Stars in the Warriors.
And so now if we get the number 1 pick, I kind of look down the ranks of all the prospects, and I'm like, nothing's popping out.
No. Nothing in this draft is surprising me. And I don't think with the number 1 pick, you can take our guy N'Keal Harry that high.
No.
I don't think you can. So
and not a receiver either. You got to get somebody that's going to be like offensive lineman. But when you look at that run of offensive linemen, there's only one school you go look to, and that's Alabama.
Yep.
So
let me paint devil's advocate for you, or play devil's advocate. Another way to get N'Keal Harry, you have to trade Patrick Peterson. You get a first-round pick. It's going to be to a contender, so it's going to be a later pick. N'Keal still goes in the first round. What, 15 to 20?
Yeah, maybe.
You could possibly pull that off.
Yeah.
It all depends on how the board shakes out, but is it worth it?
I don't know.
I love N'Keal, and I love having N'Keal and Kirk.
I see that number 1 sure pick in the draft this year. I just haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll start to form by the time we get around there. So, but man, I hope we don't go 2 and 14. We got to at least get.
We got to get at least 4.
But that schedule is brutal, man. I'm like,
you
look at it, it's like there's no way we're gonna have a 3-win season tops.
And what's interesting is that they always set up the end of the year that we're all playing divisional games, and this is the first year for the NFC West where it really doesn't matter. Usually it's like, oh, this is for all the marbles. Seattle at Arizona, and usually Seattle wins, but this doesn't matter this year. Exactly. The Rams have it locked down already.
And they did that, weeks ago?
Right? And that's not official, obviously, but still.
Yeah.
Well, everyone knows.
We know.
Oh.
So, Bird Gang, you guys, we got to keep hanging in there. It's going to be tough going down the stretch. I'm very interested to see what this game's going to look like on Sunday. Very interested. Yeah. I'm sure like everybody else is, but don't expect miracles.
Come on, CJ, give us that ball.
Yeah, it's not going to just be that much of a turnaround. But the neutral zone is coming up on Thursday. We're going to go over the picks and what's going on in the pick'ems, and of course, we will be back here next week for you, Bird Gang. You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. Go ahead and hit us up on all of our social media spots, KAZUAL with the Z at the end of sports, and we go.
NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 KDUS.
Oh, can you hear? That's probably better.
Well, sometimes you get feedback on the mic.
On social media, you can't see or hear anything. 80 to 55.
All right. Peace out, Facebook.